time. Star Wars may well be over 20 years old, but by Yoda, it still looks darn good. They've been across 1,000 galaxies, and they're our childhood heroes. We're literally spaced out that they're here. Please welcome the stars of Star Wars. R2-D2, played by Kenny Baker. Hi, Kenny. Nice to see you. How are you? Hi. Chewbacca. It's Peter Mayhew. And Commander Peter. Nice to see you. And Dave Prowse. Hey. Darth Vader. Hi. Lads. Listen. Hey, respect. Amazing.
Where are they all from?
They're your fans. They're just queuing up to see you. We had to turn away hundreds of people today because they knew
Where
it
did
was
you
Star
find this
Wars.
lot?
They wanted to come.
Oh,
They wanted to. They love you.
You must have paid them well.
We paid them three quid each. 3 quid each, Peter.
Wandering along the riverbank, were they?
They were wandering along the road. Yeah, exactly. Kenny, you may be interested in this.
Oh, yes.
This is an R2-D2 sandwich.
Isn't that nice?
That's especially for you.
Well, it is nice, but it's also quite poor.
It's rubbish.
Has it whistled, Kenny? Yeah.
Well, nearly.
Nearly.
Please tuck in, by the way.
Yeah,
Get
go for it.
started.
That's good.
Delicious, yeah.
When you first did Star Wars, I mean, did you ever have any idea that it was going to be so enormous?
Not really. Nobody knew, did they? Nobody ever knows,
No.
really, do they? If I'd have known, I would have asked for more money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Did you ever have any idea, Peter, that it was going to
No. I thought it would be pretty good when you got two English guys like Alec Guinness and
Yeah.
Peter Cushing involved in it.
Yeah.
But nobody knew what was going on.
No.
Because you didn't see the special effects.
Yeah. Of course.
Until afterwards.
Yes, of course.
I think the only inkling we really had was the fact that there was so much money being spent on sets. They took over the whole of Elstree Studios, and they even went into Shepperton Studios as well. So it was an enormous project.
Yeah.
And the sets were fantastically expensive sets.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you can see there was lots of money being spent.
Sure.
But we had no idea as to basically what we were doing. You know,
Yes.
I mean, we actually had scripts on the first one,
Right.
but we didn't get them on second and third. And so-
Has it become like an integral part of your lives now, even
yeah.
though it's...
In a way,
Yeah,
yes, because
yeah.
it's all been reincarnated, as it were, hasn't it?
You must have been delighted because it's reached a whole new generation,
That's right.
hasn't it?
That's right. We've got 3 generations.
Yeah.
Got people of my age.
A youngster.
Yeah.
Then they've got
Whippersnapper.
my kids, you know, and then they've got their kids. So
Yeah.
you've got 3 generations. It's
Yeah,
marvellous.
it's wonderful.
But
Should I play that again to you?
There's a box. You're fine. You're fine. Did you ever get kind of sick of it though, in a way, Peter? I mean,
No.
Do you enjoy doing television, don't you?
it's great.
It's a job, isn't it?
It's a
Yeah,
job.
yeah.
Why not?
Enjoy it,
Yeah,
yeah.
I said, what better job can you have when we travel around the world and
Talking
you get
to people.
thousands of people turn up to see us everywhere we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a strange thing actually. It's like I have a gymnasium in London, and I walk around the borough, not very far away from here. And I walk around, nobody takes any notice of me. I go to America, and we get 5,000 people turned up to see
Yeah.
us. It's incredible.
What kind of
Yeah.
people show up to see you? Are they all just mega...
Star
Well, they're all
Wars
mega,
fans.
mega
mega
fans. Yeah,
Mega fans,
absolutely,
normal
yeah,
people.
Yeah,
Do they come in costume, some of them?
yeah.
Some
yeah,
do.
Oh,
yeah.
brilliant.
Lots of them.
Lots of that.
Yeah.
One of the highlights of all the conventions that we do are the big costume parades that they have. Yeah, well, really,
Well,
they're really
sometimes on the
fantastic.
same show as Star Trek, you know, and
Right.
Babylon 5 and American.
Really? They put you
American
pay
shows.
together?
If it's a
Oh,
big,
yeah.
if it's a
Well,
big
they're what they
convention.
call multimedia conventions.
Yeah.
Big,
Sometimes
yeah.
you even get the horror. The horror comes into it as well.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So you get horror,
together.
sci-fi, the whole works.
Kinds of weirdies wandering around.
But Kenny, you've worked on the latest Star Wars, the prequel that everyone's just like
Yeah.
desperate to see.
I know. I was-
Any gossip?
No, I'm not allowed to tell you
Oh,
anything.
Kenny, please, I beg you. I'll give you the sandwich if you tell
all
me
right then, all right then.
something.
Well, to be quite honest, I didn't have a script because I don't need a script. I'm just got. You see, and George Lucas says, look this way, look that way. Imagine you've got something out there on the blue screen, and half of it you've got to imagine. So I don't know really what the story is. I haven't got a clue, to be honest.
A little birdie, I have to say, did tell me that during one scene, Ewan McGregor was doing a lightsaber scene, saber light scene, and he was going gozz, gozz. He's actually making the noises.
He may have been. Well, I wasn't involved in that scene, so I didn't know what he was doing.
No gossip at all, Kenny.
No, not
Their
really.
lips are sealed, aren't they?
Well, we had a typhoon or a very strong desert storm which nearly blew the whole thing away. In the set on the sets in Tunisia, nearly just the wardrobe tent disappeared. All the costumes went all over the desert, and
So it was absolutely boiling.
well, I thought we'd be on the next plane. Boiling. It was
It was 100
127. My robot was sitting there going whing, whing, with the heat, 127 degrees.
But all three of you had to wear these massive costumes, didn't you?
Well, they weren't there then, but this was on the first one.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And they took the lid off, plopped me inside like an oven, getting into that little robot.
Oh, God.
127.
Amazing. And Peter, you must have been very hot in the old
It
Chewbacca
was,
fur.
it was pretty warm,
Yeah.
but it was a knitted costume, so they provided me with a fan. So
Right.
all I had to do was open my arms up
And they just
kept
go,
cool.
Oh,
That wasn't too bad.
He looked like a cormorant on the rocks.
sweet.
batting his
Mine
hands.
was, mine was made of, went on in 15 pieces, and it was all made from quilted leather and fiberglass. But it was quite comfortable to wear, apart from the helmet and the mask. The helmet and the mask was the major problem, because they made the mask too big to start with. And I remember when we put the mask first on, George said to me, he said, "Look, you know, turn left to right and let's see how the mask moves." And I went, and the mask still stayed facing forwards, like, you know. And so what they did, they then padded the whole thing out with foam rubber.
Right.
And of course that made it horrendously hot,
Very
and
hot.
sweat buckets in it, like, you know.
Do you still get loads of fan mail as Darth?
Every day.
Every
Really?
Every day.
Yeah, we
Fan
all
mail
do.
comes in every day.
You all get
We all
fan.
do.
So
Yeah.
what kind of stuff? What?
Oh, just beautiful
But
fan
primarily,
letters.
primarily from, you know, get lots from kids, you know, who write in wanting. Everybody writes in wanting autographed photographs, and they all send bits and pieces. You know, if they don't ask you for a photograph, they sometimes send small cards for you to autograph. They send letters saying how
Yeah.
wonderful the film, what
Dave, I
the
heard,
film has
though,
meant to you, and things like this. And,
I did hear, the little showbiz bird told me that Darth gets some quite saucy letters as well.
Yes.
I've
From
had a-
ladies who like Darth.
Yeah.
Yes, I've had a few. Yes.
They want you
on,
to
Dave,
dress
tell
up
us.
in the gear, don't they?
Well,
on,
the thing
Dave.
is that it's the black leather that appeals to the women, you see, and I think also the mask that appeals to the women as well. And I get
Some women
yeah.
breathing.
The only,
Yeah,
and the heavy breathing, yeah. The only problem is this: is if I want to fulfil any of these fantasies of these women, I have to turn up in costume,
Yeah.
which I don't really
Just
want,
too much
which I
effort.
don't really want to do.
That's a shame.
Did Chewie ever get any sort of saucy,
yes,
saucy fan letters?
Chewie got, in the early days, Chewie got from the,
From Planet of the Apes.
no, from the American League of Decency, wanting to know why Chewie didn't have proper costume on.
Oh, downstairs.
Downstairs. Because originally, some of the Ralph McCrory drawings, Chewie had Bermuda shorts and a waistcoat.
You're joking.
No, some of the early Ralph McCrory.
That is a lot of radio.
Yes.
What do you do?
Bungle goes to Hawaii, basically.
Yeah. So you can imagine what the letters were like.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And all I used to do is write back and say, well, Chewie is an animal, so
Yes.
he doesn't need clothes. He's got the fur to keep him warm.
Yes, and he's very neat downstairs.
Very
It's not
discreet downstairs.
I don't know what he
You
is.
don't see that much.
Exactly. He's a discreet little Chewie there.
But was Harrison Ford, because as Chewie you worked a lot with Harrison Ford,
Yes,
was
Harrison was an absolute brilliant guy. You know, I think what helped the relationship, and no doubt there was a relationship between us, because it manifested in all three movies,
Yeah.
was that we were virtually the same age.
right.
So, you know, he was just a lovely man to work with.
Very quiet.
Oh,
Very
good.
quiet.
He always used to go on set and say, "Where's the camera?"
Yeah,
And make sure he knew where he was looking
But-
to say his lines and things.
Yeah.
but a true
Real
professional.
professional. Yeah.
Real good guy.
He knew where the camera was that was on him. And,
Right. Did it kind of bother you that all your voices were dubbed over when it came to the final?
well, mine was a whistle and a,
Yes.
a bleep and a bloop or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Well, was it you actually blooping?
No. You wouldn't have heard me if I had.
It's too hot in
I
there.
might have blooped a few times. But
Nothing to do with your voice.
No.
But how about you,
R2D2
Dave,
goes
and
blue.
Dave and Peter?
Well, I was very concerned, you know, because I did the voice all through all three movies. Because obviously, you know, I have to act, and all the other actors have to react to me and things like this. I just can't stand there in a mask and doing all the actions and not saying anything.
Yeah.
So I have to learn all the dialogue, you see. But when we did the first movie, I kept on saying to George, you know, what are we going to do about the voice of Vader? Because everything that I'm saying is coming through the mask and is no good for reproduction purposes. And I used to get George, you know, used to say, well, don't worry, we're going to the studios and re-loop all your lines at the end of the movie.
Right.
And then when they got to the end of the movie, they chased back to America because they couldn't get all the special effects that they wanted. And when they were in America, they decided they didn't want to play Darth Vader with an English accent. And so they brought James Earl Jones, who was a very famous black actor in the States. And I think basically they had this big black character and wanted to give him a big black voice. And, and James Earl Jones came in and did a wonderful job, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
But I knew from the beginning because George said to me, when I talked to George about the character, he said, well, the only thing he can't do is communicate in human speak terms.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, okay. But as Dave says, I had to make the noises, and some of the noises were really weird to get the reaction from Mark and Carrie and Harrison.
What kind of noises, Peter?
Oh, I've heard some good
Well, you
ones
did a
today,
noise.
which you two have made.
Yeah, you guys have some great ones.
Mine were nothing like that. You can imagine you're in a mask for 20 minutes, and then they say, "Oh, we want a reaction from Chewie." So you know, it was really hot and sticky, and so it wasn't as cool and collected as it would have been at the first take.
Right.
So it was a bit weird.
The walking carpet.
Walking carpet,
Yeah.
Absolutely
And the
astonishing.
Great description.
Fuzzball
Yeah,
in
yeah,
there.
yeah.
We're going to take a...
Oh, sorry, no, hang on, Peter.
Oh, hang on, to Peter. That was
That's good.
Chewie distressed, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Distress Chewie.
Chewie's happy.
Yeah, I forgot that one. Yes, there's a sort of light, contented, high-pitched hum that Chewie makes. I'm going to be practicing in the break. Join us in 3 when we'll be meeting the man who played feared bounty hunter Boba Fett in the Star Wars saga, Jeremy Bulloch. We'll see you in a trilogy of minutes.
Tonight Lunch, the programme which is light years ahead of other daytime shows.
And we're here in the lounge with Peter Mayhew, who said over lunch in the original drawings, Chewbacca wore Bermuda shorts. Kenny Baker, who said that he's in the Star Wars prequel, but doesn't have a clue what it's about. And Dave Prowse, who says he gets fan mail, dirty fan mail, for Darth every single day.
No, I didn't.
More cheers, more cheers.
I tell you, fan mail, but not dirty fan mail every day.
Well, they want you to dress up in all the gear and do all the breathing
But it doesn't
stuff.
come in every day.
Ooh.
Every other day.
Every other day.
Yeah.
Now, Star Wars memorabilia is seriously collectible, isn't
Yeah.
it? Let's face
Very
it,
much.
with fans, and they'll do anything to get their hands on the original stuff. But you've got a bit of original sort of memorabilia, haven't you?
Well, it's not original, but it's a very nice piece of equipment from from the movie. This is Darth Vader's actual lightsaber. How's that? Yeah. Bonk.
So this is the original one you used.
That's right. Yeah.
Where's the...
That's the secret bit.
That's a special effects.
Sorry, okay.
Yeah.
They put that on afterwards. As otherwise, it quite hurts when you get a laser going across your face.
Okay.
It's not
That's right. Yeah.
And what have you got? What have you brought, Peter?
That's an original script that was given to me.
That's a
You
real.
look at the date on it.
Oh, this is the real original script.
Wow.
That's the original one.
There are loads of notes on
The
it.
Adventures of Luke Starkiller, originally.
right. That
It's
was
taken from the
originally,
Journal
yeah.
of the Wills.
Yeah.
Starkiller.
That was
I'm
Luke's
sorry, I
original
forget
name.
this before. I can just sit here and read this entire... Look, it is a period of civil war in the galaxy. It's extraordinary.
This is real.
Show it.
It's the original-
Enter
the original
Chewbacca
script, yeah.
in shorts.
And if you,
Yeah.
look, if you look on the front,
With sombrero and donkey.
Guitar.
if you look on the front, there's
Yeah.
an original Chewie thumbprint.
there.
Chewy thumbprint.
That is a Chewie
That
thumbprint.
is an original Chewie thumbprint. And that was made while you were filming it.
That was made by that.
That is incredible. The whole thing is quite extraordinary.
I haven't got
Losing
anything.
everything.
So sorry.
It's all right.
I just came on my own.
You just came in there. Now, although bounty hunter Boba Fett only had 5 lines in the film Return of the Jedi, his ruthless ways and his relentless search for Han Solo left a strong impression on film audiences and made him a cult Star Wars character. Please welcome the man behind Boba's famous Iron Mask, Mr. Jeremy Bulloch. Jeremy, you bear gifts.
That is so manly to be able to carry that.
I've been working since 12:30 to make that.
Could you pass those round, Sue?
Sorry.
Almost lost them. There you go, one for you.
Can't walk and talk at the same time.
Is this special
There you go.
Boba pudding?
Well, no, it's not
There you
a
go, Ken.
Boba
My
pudding.
favourite.
It's,
It's
it's,
Your favourite?
Apple pie and ice cream.
this is it's not apple pie and ice
You
cream.
couldn't have given me.
No, it's not.
It's so
Sarlacc
argument.
pie.
This is Boba Fett ice cream,
Oh, beautiful.
and this is Sarlacc pie.
Sarlacc pie.
Well, that's where I ended up in Return of the Jedi.
And so you should.
You say,
Best place for you.
They're so rude to me.
So rude, Kenny.
Jeremy, you say
Yes.
Boba Fett.
Yes,
Is
well,
that-
if it was Boba, it would be 2 B's, wouldn't it?
But so it's Boba. I'm
Boba.
so sorry.
Boba
That's all right.
Fett.
You say
Sorry.
Boba, I say Boba.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay.
You say it like that. No, say it like that.
Is this the original mask?
No, it's not the original mask. This is actually made off the original mould. Was given to me by Don Post. He makes replica masks.
Right.
And this is so close to the original. The thing is not to talk and eat at the same time, isn't it? But it's very accurate, the same
the ice
weight
cream.
and everything.
Same colour? Because it looks like
Same-
you blew
exactly
it
the same
on
colour.
the screen.
Yeah.
It looks like you blew it on screen.
What television have you got?
Dodgy one.
Yeah, obviously. No, this is the right colour. This
Right.
is sort of green,
Just
and
for a
the little
vertical hole.
scars and scratches in it. And,
Were you surprised, Jeremy, at the impact of the character of Boba Fett?
yes, I think I was very lucky as an actor to wear a costume that was full of all this darts, laser beams, and fire, flamethrowers, and everything. And to sit and wear a mask and then become very popular. Certainly in America, he's become a sort of cult hero.
Yeah.
And so all this. My son is on the internet at the moment.
Right.
And suddenly all these web pages are coming up, Boba Fett memorabilia, the Boba Fett vault, and it's quite extraordinary.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
And you're going to the convention in Houston as well? With
Yes, I'm going to the Houston one, yes.
Brilliant.
Right.
Fantastic.
So it's been last year was fantastic, it
Yeah.
really was. Great fun.
The resurgence has been incredible, hasn't it? Yeah. And Jeremy, talking about your son, is
Here we
that
go.
which son is that? The one on the internet?
Well,
is that Jamie?
There's Robbie, the youngest one,
Robbie.
but Jamie is also working on a computer all the time.
Right.
Of course, it's true that Sue, many years ago, I think it was Croydon High School, yes? Am I right?
Something along those lines, yeah.
Jamie Bullock. Yeah.
My son, Jamie, did a play. Do you remember the plays they did?
So sorry, Jamie.
Yeah, and in fact, I want to know what happened between you two, really.
Tell all, Susie. Tell all, Susie.
All right, okay, I'll tell all. I
Focus on
slightly entrapped your son, but only in a light way, not in the heavy, naughty, dirty way.
Oh,
I
what a
did
shame.
slightly
What a
grab
shame.
him and I did snog him. And I'd like to say, I was about 14, and I don't know if he's watching, but I would like to apologise. Apparently he is very well adjusted and normal. He's one of the few that made it
wouldn't
through
say
that
that.
procedure.
So it's your fault, the way it's turned out.
It's my fault.
I think we may even have some photographic evidence of Sue and Jamie. Can we have a look at that?
Let's see.
Sue is in the left-hand corner. Sweet.
And
where's
Jamie's at the
Jamie?
back. Jamie's at the back. There's the two boys in
Yeah.
the middle at the back. Jamie's right at the back.
Yes, he is,
Yeah.
him. Ah, he's a good egg, both of them, Jamie and Robbie.
Yeah, they've got teeth now, haven't they?
Have they? I should have waited.
Sue and Jamie.
Ah, he's a nice man.
Sue and Jamie.
Okay, now busy have our phone lines been. On line one, which person is there?
Hello,
Hello.
it's Roy from Sheffield.
Hi, Roy from Sheffield. Who's your question for?
All right.
This is for all the cast. I'd
Right.
just like to ask them, following the release of the trilogy, are they all still raking in the money?
What a rude question, but I
money?
like it.
What money?
Yeah, what
Residuals,
money? Yeah, yeah.
residuals.
No, the answer to that, Roy, is no. Simply as that. I mean,
Oh, no.
we've been invited to many different conventions throughout Europe and America, and unfortunately, you don't get money for that. But you don't get residuals when the film, you don't get residuals from some of the memorabilia.
Yeah.
But it's just a pleasure to go back and meet fans who have never seen it before on the screen. So,
So no more
No money.
quids. For
no.
That's
All
dreadful.
the
isn't it?
videos as well. isn't it? That's
There's nothing on that. We get
be
no
nice,
money
wouldn't it?
whatsoever on any of the merchandising. And nothing whatsoever.
So it was a one-off payment that you got for doing the film. And
Yeah.
We're still buzzing around the world, though, having
But
a
it's
ball.
still nice. I mean,
Absolutely.
we're
Yeah.
very
Lovely.
privileged to be able to visit everybody, and there are conventions throughout
It's one of
Europe,
those things.
England.
It's like
Yeah.
years ago, you sign contracts.
yeah.
And I mean, as I said, in 1976, and 79 and 82, we basically really had no idea. We weren't
Yeah.
major stars or anything like this, And, you're not in a position where you can sort of command percentages and residuals
Sure.
and things like this.
Well, there you go. That's the anscer to your question.
Yeah, still good fun.
Good question, Roy.
Exactly.
Nice one, Roy.
Long
Thanks a
may
lot.
it continue. Cheers. Thanks for your
Better
call.
for fiver.
Now with the audience.
It's really hello there. Now, I'm with Sarah. It is Sarah's birthday. She's 22. Sarah, would you say you were a little bit worse for wear for drink? Just ever so slightly.
Adele has made some vodka jellies for us
Okay. Now, Sarah, what's your question? And who's it for?
all. Dave, I just wanted to know what it was like working with Stanley Kubrick in A Clockwork Orange.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed it, actually. It was one of the great experiences of my acting career, which lasted about 25 years. I got the part in Clockwork Orange because I was a strongman, primarily, more so than an actor. And I don't think Stanley enjoys working with actors very much. And, but I had a very nice association with him because he was a great admirer of all the various things that I'd done from a sports point of view. And I've done the Mr. Universe contest, and I've been the British heavyweight champion and Britain's strongest man and things like this, you know. And I used to sit down for ages just talking with Stanley about sport on television, about my career and things like this. And I really had a very, very nice association, and I very much liked him. As a director as well.
Yeah, he was a good man. Stan's the man.
Yeah.
Now Caroline's online too. Hi there, Caroline.
Hi, I've got a question for Kenny.
Fire away.
And this is from Edmund, who's in bed with the flu at the moment.
Oh no.
He'd like to know, how did you work the R2-D2 costumes, and how did it feel when you fell over?
Well, you mean when I got zapped by the Jawas?
Yes.
Very painful.
Yes.
Really?
Anyway, there
Painful
was.
get zapped in the Jawas.
Yeah, well, I was actually inside the robot, you see. When it's got 2 legs, it's me, and when it's got 3 legs, it's remote controlled.
Oh.
So I just wobble along like this and move the head and move the body and do all this, you see. And then when it got zapped by the Jawa, and it was pulled over by a piece of vanishing wire that you don't see on the screen, and I had a piece of wood at the bottom, it tripped and fell flat on its face, and I wasn't inside it.
Well, that's good.
So it didn't hurt, really.
You saved the nasty bump there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Cheers, and I hope you get better soon. Recover from your flu, my love.
Thanks.
Take care. All right, now Melly in the audience again.
Hello, I'm with Claire, who's part of the birthday posse. Oh, the alcohol's coming off the breath there, isn't it? Okay, what's your question?
My question's for Jeremy. What was it like filming the famous scene with Princess Leia in her gold bikini?
Well, I couldn't see out of the mask. This is in Jabba's palace, where Princess Leia's in the slave girl outfit, and I could look down, and people have said that she had this low-cut piece here, and that I could see down her cleavage, but it's untrue, because once you put that mask on, you can't see. But it was enjoyable.
Excellent. But he really couldn't see anything.
Anything at all.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
There you go. Okay, we're going to go to the phones again. Hello, who's on line 3?
Hello, it's Nick from Colchester.
Hi, Nick from Colchester.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Nick.
May the force be with you.
Yeah, and you.
The force is strong in this one.
Exactly.
Now, who's your question for?
It's for all the cast, please.
Fire away.
I'd just like to know if there was any huge disasters on set when you were making the first 3 movies.
Only working with these 3.
Oh, no. Peter said the same.
I had a real good one. They were trying to redo the entry to for Darth Vader, and like they did on the first one, when we came to do the second Empire Strikes Back, and they hold us up in an ice cave. And it all started off with them covering the front of the ice cave up with all this polystyrene, and then putting a couple of stuntmen in front of me to take the blast, and about 6 or 8 stormtroopers behind me and things like this. And I was going to make my big entrance into the movie. And they put so much explosive in that they practically blew the studio up. And there was all this debris and smoke and polystyrene everywhere. And then the 2 stuntmen got the action and charged in and fell over all the debris on the floor.
It's an explosive ending, I'm afraid. That is
going.
it.
Oh,
The has been destroyed and peace has been restored to
you
the
missed the end of a great
galaxy.
story.
Sorry, Dave.
We'll tell you what happens. We'll tell you what happens tomorrow.
Again next week.
If you want to find out more about Star Wars, there's a direct link on the Light Lunch website, so check it out there. And thanks to our fantastic Star Wars guests, Dave Prowse, Kenny Baker, Peter Mayhew, Star Wars rocks!
Join us tomorrow when we'll be joined by Sue Barker and Steve Ryder. In
Good
the meantime,
evening.
thanks for watching. Bye-bye.